G'day. The Prancing Peacock. Relax. Be very still and listen. Listen carefully to this tale about a handsome but vain peacock. He lived high up in rocky mountainous country where the white fluffy clouds played in the blue sky over the kingdom of the birds. One afternoon, as the peacock was admiring his reflection in a rock pool, he overheard something very interesting in the chatter of a family of robins. What could it be? Let's see if we can find out. Now, on this particular day, Mrs. Robin could scarcely contain her excitement. "What a great occasion!" she twittered to her husband as she hopped about. "Indeed, indeed," agreed Mr. Robin. "Why, what's happening today?" chirped little Robin with great curiosity. "Well, my darling," she exclaimed, "today our king, His Majesty White Swan the Great, is to give the hand of his beautiful daughter, Princess Signetta, in marriage." "Who's she going to marry?" asked little Robin. "Well, that's the thing, we don't know yet," said Mr. Robin. "You see," continued Mrs. Robin, "many years ago the king granted Princess Signetta a special birthday wish, and she asked to be able to pick her own husband when she was ready to marry. So the king has called all the eligible birds from near and far to meet this evening below the rocky plateau. Today is the day when she will make her choice. Let's hurry. If we arrive early, we'll get a good view." So away the three of them flew. All this time the vain peacock had been listening to the robin's conversation. "Well, well," he muttered to himself as he turned again to gaze admiringly at the reflection in the rock pool. "Princess Signetta is choosing a husband, is she? This might be her lucky day after all. I'm young, handsome and single. I'm really quite a catch. And it's just so happens," he continued to his reflection, "that I'm free this evening. I think I might take a stroll towards the rocky plateau." The peacock turned to go, but then stopped to check his appearance one last time. Extremely pleased with the reflection in the pool, he pranced off. Below the rocky plateau, birds were flying in from all directions, chirping and squawking excitedly as they did so. A large and feathery crowd soon gathered, full of long-legged flamingos, rainbow-coloured parrots, exotic birds of paradise, wise, dignified owls, shimmering hummingbirds, and many more. Suddenly, King White Swan and Princess Signetta appeared on the ledge, and the princess started to look around at the grand gathering of birds. A ripple of excitement went through the crowd as a gaze swept over them, and the young male birds jostled for space to show themselves off. The proud peacock jumped up onto a small rock and opened his beautiful tail feathers, which glistened and shone in the evening light. Then the king raised his regal head and opened his great wings. A hush fell over all the birds. "Daughter, my finest subjects stand gathered before us. Are you now ready to choose your husband?" he asked. The young princess nodded. She'd seen the most dazzling bird below and fallen in love. "That bird over there, father, on that rock. I wish to marry the peacock." The other young male birds in the crowd sighed with disappointment at first, but they soon cheered the peacock on his good fortune. He puffed out his chest with pride. "Of course," he said smugly, "I knew I'd been chosen. After all, I am the most handsomest bird of all." Hearing his boastful words, the other birds began whispering to one another. "What a shame he's so vain. Poor Princess Signetta." But the peacock was soaking up all the attention, ignoring their comments. He fanned out his beautiful tail feathers and bowed to the crowd. Then he lifted his head up high to show off his strong blue chest. The more everyone admired him, the more he leaned back until, oh dear, he leaned back so far that he lost his balance and fell clumsily backwards. The peacock landed on his own back with a big thump, and an equally loud ouch! How embarrassing! For a moment there was stunned silence, but once the bird saw that he hadn't hurt himself, everyone burst out laughing. What a sorry sight! The peacock's legs were stuck up in the air and his gorgeous tail feathers were all covered in mud. His head spun for a minute, but he quickly pulled himself together, puffing up his chest and fanning out his muddy tail. But when he heard the birds laughing, he shouted, "How dare you laugh at me, you commoners! I demand you show respect to Prince Peacock!" When King White Swan saw the peacock's antics and heard his proud words, he was very angry to see his daughter's chosen husband act so inappropriately. "Peacock, You are a vain and silly fool, he proclaimed. Your behaviour today shows that you are not worthy to be my daughter's husband or to become a prince. I will not permit it. Having been scolded in public, the peacock realised he'd lost his beautiful bride for good, and hung his head in shame. And Signetta saw he'd had a lucky escape, and asked her father to help her choose a new husband. While the other birds waited excitedly to see who would be the new choice, the disgraced peacock slunk away, muttering that he'd never be so vain and silly again. Sometimes it is tempting to show off to others and brag about our special qualities, abilities and achievements. A wise person is confident yet modest about their best traits and talents. Thank you for listening. I love you, LouLou. Bye-bye. Hooroo!